I've known you for a while, and I haven't got to talk to you since. But I'm a fan of big studios and the studio process, and with a new album coming out. And I pretty sure you didn't go to Abbey Road to record this studio, but talk about working and getting to go play a studio that many people, it would be a dream to go play Abbey Road and go into Studio 3 or see the strings recorded where everybody in America wants to record any kind of string instrument, which is Studio 3 or Studio 2.
Studio 2.
Talk about that process.
It was,
because to me, that's magical.
Incredible. It was magical. It was out of body, next level. So that was, Studio 2 in London at Abbey Road was where we recorded the last album, Steel Hearts. Simultaneously, I put out Neon Side of Town, which is a Texas country record. These are all done with my producer, Dave Percival. So Dave has a connection to Abbey Road, which is how we got over there in the first place.
Which is how Mike and the Moon Pies got over there.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes. You knew that. Did you know? So I'm singing on London Homesick Blues.
I did not know.
I'm backing on that track. Fun tie in there. Going over to London, dream come true. Watching them record the string arrangements to my songs, and I'm standing in, at this legendary place. I'm getting to play the Lady Madonna piano. I'm touching the piano that Elton John has played. I mean, just super out of body. And many times I kept thinking, like, I don't belong here. Like, this is crazy. And in hindsight,
imposters and syndrome kind of hit you a little bit.
100%,
right.
100%. Because it was so big. It was so big, and there was a lot of production behind it. We're talking just a ton of musicians, a lot of production, and so I just was just in awe watching everything. It's like watching a pilot fly the plane. And it was really, really cool. This new record, we wanted to tie in Abbey Road. So while we didn't record the entire record at Abbey Road, we did record the strings because we wanted there to be a bleed over from the string arrangements. So there's a handful of songs that are on this new record that were recorded in London, the string section, and Dave brought them back over, and then we recorded everything at Yellow Dog Studios. And
with Dave, was Adam Oder a part of this?
No, and so we recorded this during the pandemic, and I waited this long to put it out. So we were kind of limited on how many people we could have in the studio. We had to be very selective, and we were creating a bubble. And we just got it down to myself, Dave, J.J. Johnson on drums, and Glenn Fukunaga on the bass. I know, right?
Glenn. Who's probably the... If you're going to go grab a bass player, he's the guy that you want. He played on all the Chick stuff. He's played on everybody's.
And Sean Colvin.
Oh, yeah.
And he's so cool. He's such a really, really good guy, too. So the four of us just got in the studio, and we recorded all the instruments ourselves. I mean, JJ and Glenn were the rhythm section, and then Dave and I just got in and recorded the rest of the record alongside with the tracks that he brought back from Abbey Road, the strings. So it was an interesting
trip.
It was an interesting way to make a record.
How do you contact people over there and say, I need you to go play some music? Here's the arrangement. That just seems like a lot of work. But
so this was right before the pandemic. Dave went over there to go work in the studio. He had some other work he was doing. He was doing some scoring for some film, which he does. And so while he was there...
That sounds so cool.
I know.
I'm going to go to Abbey Road Studios and score a film.
Mm-hmm. I'll be back. See ya. Well, he almost didn't make it back because this was right at March of... right before everything
It's
shut
kind of when
down.
they shut it down.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So he literally got on like one of the last flights out of London with these tracks in hand and brought them back. Then, of course, we had to sit and go like, well, now what are we going to do? Because we were scheduled to get in the studio and get this album done. And it was supposed to be the follow-up to Steel Hearts, the big Abbey Road record. And we were kind of using the momentum from the publicity and everything we had been going with that. And we placed a little bit, some charting on the Americana charts, and things were kind of moving. So that all kind of fell by the wayside. And then we had to kind of figure out, okay, well, now what? And so it took us a while to even get back in the studio. But when we did, it was a lot of fun because of the limitation of the players. And we honed it in. We were like, all right, let's just get creative. And so it kind of forced us into, well, let's just take out all of Dave's toys, all of the guitars. I'm playing the mandolin and like the banjo, and I'm playing like electric guitar on a lot of this record, and it's in it. You can hear it. It's a kind of a fun, cool record because it's so diverse, and there's a lot of cool pop elements, some 80s flourishes. Like it's just a really interesting record, and I think it's one of my favorite records creatively that I've ever made. This is probably one of my favorite tracks on the record. It's called I Could Get Used to This. It's really funky. Of course, Glenn is funking it up on the bass, and JJ, just funky players. So wish they were here with me today, but every time I close my eyes, I see you in my dreams. So it comes to no surprise, I want you all for me. But every time you go, I'm hoping that you won't say goodbye to me. I'm begging you not to go, but I can't keep going on so desperately. But I could get used to this, having you right next to me. I could get used to this, having you loving upon me. I could get used to this, having you right next to me. Said I could get used to this. I could get used to this. 'Cause when I open up my eyes, it's never as it seems. So it comes to my demise that you weren't meant to be. But every time you go, I'm hoping that you won't say goodbye to me. I'm begging you not to go, but I can't keep going on so desperately. But I could get used to this, having you right next to me. I could get used to this, having you loving upon me. I could get used to this, having you right next to me. I could get used to this. I could get used to this. I could get used to this. Sometimes I feel like I'm wasting my time. Sometimes I feel like I'm losing my mind. Wow, but I could get used to this. 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 Ooh, yeah. Oh, I could get used to this. Hey.
Season Ammons live at our Coke FM studios. That is funky, and I like it, and I can hear the guys playing while you're playing. I can hear all those funky bass lines, and I'm
it's
sure
super funkalicious.